Hey guys, how's it going? Jake Ballard here, and I'm going to be doing a review of Pacific Rim with Rokan. And yeah, so I guess we'll get into the review. He is on the line right now. You can introduce yourself.
Yo, everybody in America and beyond.
So yeah, we're going to be reviewing Pacific Rim. When did you see Pacific Rim? You saw it recently, right?
Yeah, I saw it after I saw the Wolverine, actually.
Yeah, I saw it at the like the 10 o'clock showing before, like like right when it came out, the premiere. And I had really high expectations. I think higher expectations than most people.
I
What about yourself?
I had expectations for it and so forth. I mean, I love Del Toro's movies. I loved the first two Hellboy and Pan's Labyrinth, and
Yeah, same here.
I think Blade 2 is like one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. So I was just like well, Del Toro's has returned to directing, and I'm really excited for that because it's been the last movie he directed was Hellboy 2, and then since he went on to produce the DreamWorks animated movies and so forth, so it was really cool. And I wasn't anticipating it like crazy like you are, but I was just like, it's Del Toro, so let's
Got nothing to lose, right?
no.
Except your money.
Yeah, except my money and the money that I have to shit out to see it in IMAX 3D.
Yeah, so I kind of wish I saw it in IMAX 3D, which I have an IMAX. Actually, I have a legit IMAX, not like the fake AMC IMAXs, Limax. Which even though those are still better, but they need to charge cheaper for those because they're not the full IMAX.
I'm gonna call it Limax from now on.
Yeah. But yeah, we can get into the movie. So yeah, I love how the movie opens up, and like there's the one shot. Yeah, and just so everyone knows, this is gonna be spoilers. I love the one shot, the opening with the giant monster on the bridge. I don't know, like actually like gave me chills for whatever reason because it was just like so breath. You could like really feel like the passion in the whole intro really too.
Yeah, but I like those whole extended prologues where they give you so much backstory on the world and the situation that's going on and so forth. Kind of like Lord of the Rings, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually I didn't think of that, but I should have. Yeah, yeah. I really dug that. I love the whole intro scene where like his brother gets taken out, and it's like it sets up the movie perfectly. And what do you think of that first fight at the start? Because obviously this movie, if you obviously want action if you're gonna go see this movie.
To quote the Dark Knight Rises, we are in for a show tonight. Yeah, and it brought back the little kid and brought back also the little kid in me because I grew up as a Gundam fan, and it was just so cool. It was so cool to basically see a sort of adaptation of the cartoon, you know?
Yeah, exactly. See, I actually I never watched it, but it did, it made me feel like a 12-year-old.
It did. It went back to those uplifting and fun blockbusters that we haven't quite seen in a while because the majority of the blockbusters have basically just been, basically just been. I hate to say this though because he's my favorite director, but the majority of the blockbusters have been Nolanized in a way.
Yeah, see the thing about it is like Nolan does what he does great, but you can't copy someone else. Like even Skyfall had that for me. I thought it was way too much like The Dark Knight. It was a little. That's a whole separate topic, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean there, and that's why I love how you brought that fun back. The last movie, a lot of people are gonna hate me for this probably, but I love like the feeling it reminded me of how it felt the first time I saw Avatar.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, me too.
And James Cameron's Avatar, not M. Night Shyamalan's, which, yeah, that's another
That's
topic too.
that's not Avatar. That's basically a guy taking the Avatar DVDs and just stepping on them and laughing at your face as you cry about it.
Yeah, exactly. He's taking candy and eating in front of you as you watch. But yeah, we'll keep that on the side right now. But
another review for another time, folks.
Yeah, I really like that whole opening scene and like set it up perfectly. And then of course after that it sets it up really nicely. The whole world. I really love how it explains the drift. And I would say my only criticism is I don't know if it was from Del Toro. I've never seen Charlie Hunnam act before, and I think it was more the script. He seemed like really flat and stale in the movie. You know what I mean? And for some of his
I think
lines,
it's because yeah, I see what you mean. I think it's because he's so used to being on a TV show because he's on Sons of Anarchy as it is, and I think he hasn't really gotten used to how movies work and so forth. So I
yeah,
think he was just trying to learn. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly, and it might have been from some of the directing too. I guess how he wanted it. Maybe Del Toro wanted it to sound like that, but it doesn't. I still really liked him as a main character, and I like the whole story he had going on. You know, because this, and I really love that whole thing with how he saw, he knew what his brother felt. You know, when he got taken by the drift. I thought that was really original. Actually, it kind of reminded me of like Spock from Into Darkness. Yeah, and I like the whole setup. And then of course we get into the thing, and then Idris Elba comes more into it, which he was a total badass in the movie.
Idris Elba is a fantastic actor, as we all know.
Did I say his name wrong?
And I think you did because I'm always used to hearing people say Idris.
Idris. Okay, I'll say that from now on. But yeah, you continue.
Yeah, like Idris Elba, he's a fantastic actor. I mean, I saw a few episodes of The Wire because my older cousin is a huge fan of that show, and he's terrific on that show. If you haven't seen it, you know, Netflix it if you can. But you know, he was great. I liked him in Thor, for instance, and I liked him in Prometheus. I thought he was like one of my favorite characters in Prometheus, and I felt that his character kind of reminded me of Bill Pullman in Independence Day.
Huh. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, because it has that whole because Bill Pullman was like a fighter pilot before he became the president, and at the end of the movie he goes back to being a fighter pilot to save the world, and it kind of reminded me of that. You know what I mean? Because you have Idris Elba, who used to be one of the one of the controllers of the Jaegers, and now he's like a general or something like that, and back to fighting at the end.
Exactly. Which I really dug his character. I don't know, he might have been my favorite character, but I really like I really like Charlie Hunnam as the main playing the lead. But yeah, so then I guess we can move. This movie surprisingly has a lot of story, which I was actually surprised by that.
Me too. I kind of thought that it would be basically be just 40 minutes of just getting to know the characters, and the rest of like the hour and a half you basically just get the robot action.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, there's like tons of story. I was really surprised at how they made the characters likable and relatable.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I love like the whole like I forgot what I was gonna say, but I like I would say that I do wish there was a little more action. I usually don't say that, but for some reason I was kind of like, as I was watching it, I was like, okay, let's get to the action, before the second fight. Which I never find myself saying that in a movie.
Me too. I was like, I want to see more. I want to see more Jaegers and Kaijus smash their buildings. I want to see them shoot their missiles more and everything like that.
Yeah, and I guess that kind of helped it out when you got to that second fight. Which actually we can go into and talk about that second fight now. But yeah, see, this whole part of my movie is the favorite up until the very last moment of it, which I thought there was like a really massive problem with the very last part of it for me. But
yeah,
what did you think of the whole fight?
The second fight is. I'm trying to remember what the second fight was exactly because there's so many fights in this movie.
Yeah.
But was the second fight the one where
I just say
it's trying to find Charlie Day?
No, the whole what's it called? In the yeah, we're trying to find Charlie. Or the part where where they go in the water, they launch them in the water, and then like all the other guys get taken out. So.
Oh yeah, that to me, I mean that scene was really cool, especially because I was like seeing how the the best characters or the best fighters are always the one taken out, and you see just like the weak ones just get stomped on and get their ass handed to them. I was like seeing that, and I was like seeing the skeptics being shown that they were wrong.
Exactly,
so,
like whole underdog thing. Yeah.
That scene was really cool. Was really cool for me, and especially I found a lot more fun when it's trying to find Charlie Day and Ron Perlman, who we didn't get to talk about them because we should talk about Charlie Day and Ron Perlman, for instance.
Yeah. See, for me, I don't know what it was. I thought Ron Perlman was cool, but it felt kind of like they just threw him in there to throw him in there. Like, hey, it's like, hey, I think we need some Ron Perlman in this movie now. Like it almost felt like
one Sons of Anarchy cast member isn't enough. We need another one.
Yeah, exactly. That was the only problem with this. It felt like Ron Perlman playing someone. It wasn't like in Hellboy. It's like he's Hellboy. That's what I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still thought his character was hilarious. And when he gets eaten, I was like laughing so hard because like he does this like total like douchebag asshole thing when he he throws the knife, like his little like I don't know what's called. He's like flinging around a knife and he throws it into the nose of the monster. I was gonna say actually when he does that, his acting there is really cool because maybe that's what I didn't catch. His acting is more like he's kind of like a wannabe badass. That's what I got.
I don't think when Ron Perlman is a badass, he doesn't even know he's being filmed. Actually, he's just there, and like Del Toro's just there with his camera randomly, and he's just following Perlman around.
Yeah, see what I thought I got with his character. His character was like he wanted to be like this like samurai guy, or like he was based off of a chef or something. It's what his character really liked that one. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I really like, and I love how he comes out with the knife at the end. He like digs through. And then, that was hilarious. And then, we can talk about Charlie Day.
Yeah, Charlie Day. I love Charlie Day. I mean, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is one of my favorite shows. It's on TV right now. And I liked him in Horrible Bosses and so forth. And he also hosted one of the best episodes of SNL of like last year. But when I heard he was cast in this movie, I was like, he's probably going to be the really forced comic relief. And to an extent, he is the comic relief, but he wasn't like he didn't feel out of place to me. He didn't feel like Jar Jar Binks or something like that. He really felt like he really felt like natural to the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he felt kind of like he did really feel natural to the story. That's like even though I did find it, I found the other guy from he's from Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, the British.
Yeah, I found his character was just going at it like. I think it was more the costume design. He was just going at it a little too much. And I can see what Del Toro was going for. His character fits really nicely. But, and now I guess we get into the other... I really... My only problem with the second fight is that at the very end when Mako goes to stab, like, she's like, for my family, I don't know if it was just they ran. It felt like they ran like they didn't put a budget in to animate the sword actually stabbing the monster, so they rushed it because like the sword was already stabbed into the monster, and I was like, wait, what? Like where was the impact? You know what I mean? It's like just like taking away the build up for that moment. That was my like only problem with that whole scene.
Yeah, and I didn't really pay attention to that because frankly I was still so impressed that they took a submarine and just used it like a baseball.
I love that too. That was the only problem though, because I was like, yes, she's gonna, when they busted out the sword, it was like build up, yeah, come on, let's go, and then it was like, wait, I didn't get to see the stabbing. That was my only problem.
Yeah, I see what you mean, man. But yeah, like I guess after the second fight, they realized that there's like that the hole is getting bigger in the ocean, and so they send out all the Jaegers, and Idris Elba makes, in my opinion, what's going to be probably the most quoted speech since the Bill Pullman speech. From
that speech was amazing. When he's like, "Today we are canceling the apocalypse," like it's like who says that? That's how amazing it is. Like it's like one of the most original lines I've ever heard in my life. Like it's not ending the apocalypse, it's just straight canceled. It's like not even like acknowledged. It's just like canceled, done. But yeah, that's why I love that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's just like, and the music just like sounds so, big and emotional. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it felt like you really felt like you wanted to stand out of your seat and say, hell yeah, get those
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
exactly. Exactly what I wanted to do. But yeah, and uh,
I want and I wanted to do that. I really wanted to say that, but there were a bunch of 5-year-old kids right
yeah, it would
behind
have
me,
been a good
so
idea.
I just whispered to myself.
You're just like, yeah, but yeah. See the third fight for me, that fight felt really half-assed in my opinion. People can disagree with me, but like for me, like compared to the fights before, it felt like either this was like I don't like animated first and like because like the way the shots flow and everything on it, like there's not enough scenes where you're seeing the whole overview of the whole thing, and it really like kills a lot of the impact of the action for me.
I think the reason why is because they were just I guess they were just so focused on really I guess this more of a compliment, but they were really focused on more of the characters like Idris Elba's death, for
Yeah,
instance,
exactly.
and I guess Del Toro just didn't want to lose sight of that, so he just I guess put little emphasis on the climax,
Yeah,
but
that's my because I think it would have added something if the action was as good as the other. You know what I mean? Because if it, but it was still really good.
speaking about the action, I just want to say the action was well filmed.
Yeah, yeah. I would say my only criticism on the action is that there's like a couple shots that are too. It's too close up, and it's like harder to see like the full like. That's what maybe it's because I'm a filmmaker and I just love that kind of stuff. But like the whole with action, you kind of have to show what's like you have to show where the two things are in relation to each other. And I didn't think there was enough of that on some of it. But other than that, like the whole Tokyo thing fight was almost perfect. So, but yeah,
If anything, the Godzilla reboot should take notes
yeah.
from this. Um, in case in case it turns out to suck, which I really hope
Yeah,
not, but you never know.
Gareth Edwards. I like how they grabbed an indie director. So that should be good. But yeah, how do you think how the movie wrapped up? And did you like that? How it did it?
Um, Besides the killing of the monsters and so forth, I kind of felt like I wanted to see more resolution with the characters. I kind of felt like right after Charlie Hunnam is alive, they just end it right there. And I kind of felt like I really wanted to see like a full conclusion with the characters. You know what I mean?
That was with me too because I was like that's it. You know what I mean? Like I wanted a little bit more of like showing you.
They were kind of it kind of remind me of the end of Transformers One, how or any of the Transformers movies, how after the big battle is over, they just make one quick speech and
Yeah, it's like
kind of remind me of that.
end of Transformers 3.
Most quickest ending ever
Yeah.
I've seen. But I mean, I was just like, that's it. I mean, the action is awesome, but couldn't you give us a little bit more of the ending? But that's just
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I was kind of that was one of my few problems with it. So yeah, what would you rate it?
in terms of grades, or like on a scale of 1 to 10.
I like 1 to 10 if there's foreign viewers or anything, listeners.
Uh, okay, I'd give it probably a 9.5.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I would either give it 8.5 or 9. I'm kind
Yeah,
of in that range. Just see like I have to give it that at least because of the canceling the apocalypse line.
yeah.
Yeah, even if the entire movie sucked, which it didn't, I still would have gave it that same rating for what's it called for that one line.
If Optimus Prime said that in Transformers 2, my grade for that movie would have been a whole lot higher.
I
Just for
know,
that
right?
line.
I know exactly. So yeah, I guess that's good. Guess that's gonna end our review of